Friends, welcome to my workplace at Ranaghat, West Bengal, India. This is a cataract in a young male patient of 35. There is history of blunt trauma in the past. Let us observe this surgery. After the main incision, a side port is made on the left side about 3 clock hours away, and an air bubble is used to fill up the anterior chamber. Now trypan blue dye is injected underneath this air bubble to stain the anterior capsule. And now the dye is washed out. This is a bit of adrenaline to maintain dilatation of the pupil during surgery. The dye is then washed out using balanced salt solution. And now 2% hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose is used to fill up the anterior chamber. And now we can see there is zonular dehiscence in from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. But actually there are loss of zonular fibers. You can see that whole lens moves as I try. You can see this gap. This gap is from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And after raising this tag, I inject some more visco, take a utrata forceps in my right hand and a Sinskey hook in my left hand. Now as I rotate this tag, as I guide this tag all around, I support the lens mass with the Sinskey hook, and this reduces stress on the zonule, particularly in this. As I pull the tag from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, the anti-surface of the lens mass is pressed by the Sinskey hook, and it decreases the zonular stress. Some more visco, and now I want to use a capsular tension ring. And before that, I don't want to do hydro. I am doing this. This is hydro-free dissection with a blunt iris spatula. I'm creating a gap between the anterior capsule and the lens mass from 12 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Now I go through the side port and separate the capsule from the lens mass from 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So 360 degrees separation has been done. Now I inject visco and take a CTR, a capsular tension ring. At first I tried to place the CTR underneath the anterior capsule in this way, but the CTR didn't go in, it came out. So I leave the Sinskey hook. I take a forceps in my left hand. Macpherson's forceps is there in my right hand. With the Sinskey hooks, I negotiate the trailing leading end at 7 o'clock, and it goes in the capsular bag. And now I push the CTR. It goes in. The weak part of the zonule is from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, so I can use the CTR through the main wound. And here it goes. The CTR goes in the capsular bag. I inject some more visco and check with this instrument, which is shaped like the letter Y, and I find the CTR is there in the equator of the capsular bag. So the bag is nicely supported by the CTR. And now I do a bit of hydro dissection. And I didn't try to rotate the nucleus, because if I try to rotate, it may cause zonular stress. This is Dr. Sohail's pre-chopper. I tried to pre-chop this nucleus. I got a good crack, but the nucleus didn't separate completely. There was partial separation from equator up to the middle part. I tried to make another cut in the heminucleus, and then I came out. This will help in managing the nucleus, though it is not completely separated. This will definitely help. And now the Phaco handpiece is being used to manage the nucleus. This is Ocular Cataract 3. This is a 2.8 mm easy tip. The bottle height is 60 to 65 centimeter, and vacuum is 250 millimeter of mercury. Flow rate is 25. So very slow Phaco, and irrigation pressure is very less. And I am doing it very slowly, not trying to do it first deliberately. I am trying to do it slowly and with adequate care, trying to maintain the antechamber depth, working at the iris plane, and very slowly I am managing the nucleus, just shaving off the nucleus at this time. And I could rotate the nucleus, and here I could tilt the nucleus and remove this part of the, here the crack by the pre-chopper helped. And this is the last portion of the lens mass. Since the vacuum is very low, it is keeping the posterior capsule at a distance. Posterior capsule didn't tend to come forward. And before coming out, I asked my assistant to inject visco. At this time I stopped irrigation. I stopped irrigation as soon as my assistant started to inject visco. And now, before removing the cortical lens matter, I injected the intraocular lens, because I found that there is very little cortex, only some cortex is there in the superior part. In other parts there is no cortex. However, since the bag is nicely supported, I could have removed the cortex before implanting the lens, but I thought this lens will give additional support to the capsular bag, so I implanted the lens first, and then I am using this instrument. This is a 23 gauge Simcoe. I have made another side port at 7 o'clock. I've gone through that side port and removing the cortex from the upper part of the capsular bag. There is some cortical lens matter still remaining superiorly. I didn't try to remove it meticulously because if I try to remove this, there can be a lot of zonular stress, and I didn't want to do that. We must remember that perfection is enemy of good. Sometimes we try to be perfect and we go into a disaster. So better to remain at a good level than to try to reach perfection. So after closing the side ports, I form the antechamber very nicely. Integrity of all the wounds are checked and the case is concluded. So in this case, I did several things. I supported the lens mass with a Sinskey hook during capsulorhexis. I did a hydro-free dissection to use a CTR before hydrodissection. I prechopped the nucleus. Then I used very low setting for managing the nucleus, only 65 centimeter bottle height, very low flow rate and very low vacuum. Thank you very much for your attention. Hope this video will help you in developing your surgical skills. Hope you will get inspired to take up challenging cases in your practice.